Hello, and welcome to 70 Years, 70 Muppets, a Muppet Fan podcast presented by Topics.com. This is the podcast where we celebrate the Muppets' 70th anniversary with 70 straight weeks of spotlights on our favourite Muppet characters, from the most popular to the most obscure. I am this week's host, Jarrod Fairclough, and the Muppet of the week is Bubba the Rat, performed by Bubba The Rat, making his world debut in 1999's Muppets from Space. Now, where do I even begin to start with Bubba the Rat? No, really, I'm asking, where the hell do I start with Bubba the Rat? Bubba's had like 4 speaking roles in 26 years, and I'm at a total loss. Fun fact, I had Joe Hennes and Shane Keating run the numbers, and since 1999, Bubba has had a total of 13 minutes and 13 seconds screen time. And so I'm supposed to fill a 20-minute episode based on that? So, no, ladies and gentlemen, I won't be doing that. Instead, this podcast is going to go for exactly 13 minutes and 13 seconds, music and credits included. Because I got nothing, folks. I had like 100 different ideas for this episode, but none of them stuck. You know, do I quiz a non-Muppet fan friend of mine on Muppet Rats? Well, yeah, but then he forgot when we planned it, so that fell out the window. Do I email Bill Beretta and ask him to come on to discuss the nuances of Bubba the Rat? Well, yeah, but he didn't respond because, fair enough, he has better things to do. Do I ask my brother to come onto the show to discuss Muppets when, my brother probably couldn't even tell you who the comedian bear was? Well, yeah, but, he's a busy man, and so he couldn't do it. Do I use Bubba the Rat as a jumping off point to take down Muppets Wizard of Oz? Well, look, spoiler alert, I'm actually doing that for another one of these later in the year. There's just nothing to say about Bubba the Rat! Sorry, I'm getting steamed up. Let's see what I have here. Maybe my pal Joe Hennes might want to tell me his favourite Bubba moment. Joe?
Hi, I'm Joe Hennes from toughpigs.com, and my favorite Bubba the Rat moment is from Muppets Take Manhattan when he officiated the wedding between Kermit the Frog and Emily Bear.
Well, that added like 12 seconds to the show. Fine. Alright, I guess I have to talk a little about Bubba. Look, he's a chonky rat in a singlet. You call them singlets overseas? Like undershirts? Whatever. He was the leader of the Rats in Muppets from Space, a film where he had a whopping 3 minutes and 41 seconds of screen time. They might as well have called it Bubba's from Space with that showcasing. Over the years, he made other appearances in like Extreme Makeover, Home Edition, with a mind-blowing 5 seconds of screen time. Wow.
Hi, I'm Joe Hennes from toughpigs.com, and my favorite Bubba the Rat moment is when he emptied my dishwasher for me. It wasn't totally necessary, just a real nice gesture.
Okay, I didn't necessarily ask for another one, Joe. Anyway, Bubba was also one of the lead munchkins in Muppets Wizard of Oz, a ridiculous movie where he had 3 minutes and 16 seconds of screen time, which is only like 25 seconds less than he had in Muppets from Space, but with like 3 lines and wearing a gas mask for most of them. God, that movie is a mess, but that's for another podcast. Bubba's been played by Bill Beretta since 1999, and in...
Hi, I'm Joe Hennes from toughpigs.com, and my favorite Bubba the Rat moment is his acceptance speech when he won the Grammy Award for Best Global Music Album. Why did he thank Charles Barkley? We'll never know.
Joe, I'm trying to do a show, man. Bill's played Bubba since 1999, or maybe 1998, if he's recorded Muppets from Space then. I don't know when Muppets from Space was filmed. I assume 1998. I don't know. That's for another time. But aside from Rizzo and Yolanda, Bubba might just be the most consistent Muppet rat. Like, sure, we've had Chester and Fast Eddie and Donna and Mr. Plagueman, but they only stick around for like a movie or an episode or something. Or, they sing Flowers on the Wall. Imagine if they'd chosen to do a week on someone like Tattooey. A character I'd forgotten existed, but seems to just have a tattoo on his chest. I have tattoos. Does that mean I should be named Tattooey? Is that why he's called that? Hang on, let me put you on hold. Oh, okay, wait, sorry. I just went on Muppet Wiki, and it turns out his full name is Rat Tattooey, like the dish or the fun Pixar film, which was made like long after Muppets Take Manhattan. Am I uncovering a scandal? Did director Brad Bird watch the 1984 film, see a rat working in a kitchen, hear the name Rat Tattooey, and inevitably create a cinematic masterpiece? Should Frank Oz sue Brad Bird? How deep did this go?
I'm Joe Hennes from toughpigs.com, and my favorite Bubba the Rat moment is when he filmed those intros before episodes of The Muppet Show on those Time Life DVD releases. He'd talk about working with his dad on the show, behind-the-scenes stories about the guest stars, and how the Muppets are, generally speaking, great.
No, sorry, you're right, Joe. Thank you for interrupting me. I was falling down a rabbit hole. Would you like to tell us maybe another favorite Bubba moment?
Hi, I'm Joe Hennes from toughpigs.com, and my favorite Bubba the Rat moment is when
Whoa, Joe! You cannot say that! Ugh! So many disgusting phrases used so quickly. Ugh! I don't think Bubba did any of that. Ugh, and if he did, he needs to be tried for crimes against humanity. Ugh! Ugh! Alright. Ugh. Let's shake it off, folks. Let me tell you my favourite Bubba moment, which happened in 2014 when I was at Disneyland with Muppet Mindset founder and my ride or die, Ryan Dozier. We were discussing our favourite Bill Beretta moments, and Bubba came up. And Ryan turned to me and said in his best Bubba voice, "How you doing? I'm Bubba." And that was pretty much it. Thought that story would have taken up more time. Also wasn't particularly funny nor interesting. But maybe neither is Bubba, and that's okay. I mean, sure, he's funny. He's a fat rat with a funny voice, and in Muppets Haunted Mansion he wore a top hat. But is he interesting? What constitutes interesting? You know, which brings me to a good point. Do Muppets need to be interesting? Like, side Muppets, do they need to be interesting? Obviously, Kermit needs to be interesting. Miss Piggy needs to be interesting. Fozzie needs to be interesting. But do we really require that in our side characters? Like, is Bubba the Rat even a side character, or is he a background character? What constitutes a background character? Like, Bubba's, like I said, had 13 minutes of screen time in 26 years. Let me just do the math on that. Character 1. That's an average of 30 seconds a year for 26 years. Does that constitute a side character? Does that constitute a background character? Does that constitute a character at all? I guess what I'm trying to say is...
Hi, I'm Joe Hennes from toughpigs.com, and my favorite Bubba the Rat moment is from Studio DC, hosted by Selena Gomez, when he walked through the background of a scene. It was so memorable, the way he walked and it existed in a physical space for a linear amount of time.
Oh, Joe kind of just made my point for me, I guess. If I look at the spreadsheet they did, in Studio DC, hosted by Selena Gomez, Bubba the Rat only had 5 seconds of screen time. You know, is that a featured appearance? Is that just a background appearance? I don't believe he has any lines. I think maybe Bubba the Rat isn't a character. Maybe he is a character. Maybe we're all characters in this crazy thing we call life. I think this is a thing for my therapist. I think I need to end this before I get too existential. Bubba the Rat can't be the reason I have an existential crisis. I mean, I'm 35 years old. I should be having existential crises about the housing market or, you know, my love life. I can't have it over Bubba the Rat. That's ridiculous. Can I have it over the Bubba the Rat? Is Bubba the Rat, you know, my id? Is he my ego? Should I have scripted something here? I don't know. I'm flying by the seat of my pants, people. I'm very aware that, like, 1,000 people are going to hear this, and I'm probably going to get sent off to seek help. I'm worried, people. I'm scared. I've run out of Joe clips. This podcast goes up in literally 48 hours and all I can think about is Bubba the Rat, and am I Bubba the Rat, and is Bubba the Rat all of us, and is he none of us, and is he God, and is he Satan, and is he everything and nothing, and is he the end, and is he the beginning? Is Bubba the Rat all of us? Bubba the Rat was on screen for 13 minutes and 13 seconds, 13 being an unlucky number. Is Bubba unlucky, or is he the luckiest character of all? 13 plus 13 equals 26. I was born on the 26th of May. Does that mean something? Am I Bubba the Rat? I look terrible in a singlet, but so does he. But I mean, I look great in a top hat, and so does he. Am I interesting? Is he interesting? Have I put too much weight on these "you can call me Alan, Mr. Curly Whirly" jokes? Do people think they're funny? I don't think they're funny, but I do think they're funny. But Anthony Strand doesn't think they're funny. But JD Hansel might think they're funny. I don't know who thinks I'm funny. I don't know if people think Bubba the Rat's funny. Do people think Bubba the Rat is like a fat Rizzo? Is Rizzo still around? Is Rizzo coming back? I don't know. I can't answer these questions for you because I'm not Bubba the Rat. I'm Jarrod. I'm Jarrod Fairclough. I'm Australian. I'm 36 years old. I'm not 36 years old. I'm 35. See, I don't even know who I am anymore. I'm still 2 minutes off the 13 minutes and 13 seconds. I don't think I'm going to make it. And I know you're all sitting there chanting for me, Jarrod, 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 in your cars, or in your homes, or in your offices, or wherever someone like Dizzy might choose to listen to this. And yet, I feel a responsibility, ladies and gentlemen. I feel a responsibility to get us over the line. We can do this. We can do this together. Let's chant. Let's think about Bubba. Think about your favourite Bubba the Rat moment. Is it the time he sings "Calling on Munchkins, let's do lunchkins" in that awful Muppets Wizard of Oz? Is it the time he goes, "How you doing? I'm Bubba," in Muppets from Space? Is it the time I told you about Ryan Dozier saying, "How you doing? I'm Bubba," about like 3 minutes ago? I don't know. I don't know what your favourite Bubba the Rat moment is, and I can't hear you. Well, actually, legally I have to tell you we can hear you. The reason Tough Pigs keeps going down at the moment is because we're like inserting malware onto your phones so that we can hear you. It's a whole Ryan Rowe thing. Like, I don't want to get too into it. He's been championing this for years. Actually, no. Let me tell you about it. No. Sorry, we're out of time. Sorry, gang. Bye. 70 Years, 70 Muppets is a Muppet Fan podcast presented by toughpigs.com. Hosted by a whole myriad of people and edited by them as well. Produced by Jarrod Fairclough. The Muppets 70 logo used with permission by the Muppet Studio with thanks to Danny Iglesias, Frank Reif Snyder and Lee Slaughter. Don't forget to follow toughpigs.com on all social media platforms. You can support us by heading to patreon.com/toughpigs or buying a t-shirt at tpublic.com/toughpigs.